Hi, it's Configurator from Blum, Canada, here to talk to you today about the Cabinet Configurator 4.0. What is the Cabinet Configurator 4.0? It's a service from Blum, Canada that allows you to plan your cabinet so that way you can get all the accurate information to plan that cabinet with hardware and get cut lists and be able to order those parts. I'm going to show you briefly what it can do here. Now, right from this front screen, I can zoom in and zoom out, and it's quite literally like a CAD program. What we see here in this corner here is a orientation of the box. So if I've been moving this around and I can't remember which way is top or bottom, I just hit the right side, I can twist it a little bit, get back to the front. Now, if I zoom out a little bit more, and this is just a standard size cabinet, I want to go to a pantry unit. I'm going to change the height. I'm going to make this a 2-meter tall cabinet. Very easily done, and it's going to put all the information there. I'm going to make this a little wider from 600 millimeters down to up to 914, and you can see that it changes quite quickly. I can also quickly take in a vertical gap and split that front door easily, and as you can see, it'll stop in the middle with a highlighted dark blue. I can drop it in and it shows right off the bat by just highlighting what are my dimensions on the systems here. On the right side is showing me the details pertaining to that specific front. I can change the material. I can change it from chipboard. I can go to hardwoods. I can change it to MDF, whatever material I need it to be. Now also too, with regards to fittings, if I'm going to stay with the pantry type look, I can put in a fixed shelf. I can drag it in, as you can see here, and it'll go where I need to leave it. I can put in another dividing panel in there. I can also put in an adjustable shelf and coordinate where those shelf pinholes will go. And if I wanted to just put in line drilling, I can place all the holes as you see here. And easily, if I've said I don't want to put those holes in, I just go over to the right side and I just click delete and they're miraculously gone. Now, when I look at the fittings, I can say, because I'm going to stick with the pantry, I'm going to go to hinge systems, and I've got left to right application. I'm going to do the left side first, and we call up what we call the product configurator, which is another free service from Blum, which is integrated in with the cabinet configurator. Now, I'm going to use what we call the zero protrusion hinge. With that, if I decide to make this pantry with drawers inside, I don't need spacer blocks. So I'm going to click the zero protrusion hinge. Because it's going to be an overlay application, I'm going to select that. And these are just all the details pertaining to that application. I don't need to change anything. I'm just going to hit next. And I can choose the clip top blue motion or the standard. I'm going to do the clip top blue motion. I've got the choice with this application whether I want to use the standard or I can do the new onyx black finish. I'm going to keep it with the nickel plated system. And my choice of applying the hinge to the door, I have the inserter, which is a tool-free application, dowel system, or I can do wood screws. Because I am going to do a pantry that I'm going to show off a little bit more, I'm going to create it with the inserter. Now, I am defaulted to what we call a 155-degree opening, and now I do next, and I get to choose some of the accessories, including what kind of hinge plate do I want. I always like the horizontal plate because it gives me a nice sleek look inside without having to see all the extra metal of a cruciform plate. I'm going to do the Expando pre-mounted special screws, and it comes automatically with the cam height. It's made out of steel, and I'm going to use the 5mm drilling dimensions for the plate to the cabinet side. And when I do next, I get the option of whether I want to put in a tip-on. A tip-on is our touch latch feature. I'm not going to do that because I'm going to put a handle on this at the end of the day. And if I had a wall or something next to it that it might hit when I open up the door, I can also restrict the opening to 92 degrees or 110 degrees. I don't have any obstructions, so I'm just going to keep it the same. When I hit apply, it's going to automatically apply the correct amount of hinges in a very nice looking position. Now, I can maneuver this data a little bit more. Let's just say I had a shelf that I plan or a drawer to plan inside there. I can take that hinge and I can just move it easily out of the way. And then I can go back into a fixed shelf, and let's just say I put it right where maybe that hinge was. And with that, I can then go into what we call the result and get all that data I was talking to you about. So here is a 3D view of what we've just created, and all the CAD data that was supported is in the background. When I go to the configuration details, I'm going to click all these options because more information is better than little information. I'm going to download it, and I'm going to get a very good and clear PDF output document. which I can follow easily. I can send it into my shop, or I can send it into my garage if I'm going to do it myself at home. These are all the details. This is the parts that the hinges that I'm going to use. Then we get into the parts, the quantity that I need, and some very specific details and technical details about the application. But if I scroll all the way down, this is the best part. I get to see the actual draft drawings, and as an instance, this is the top of the cabinet that I have, this is the bottom, and this is the side showing where my fixed panel is going to be screwed into. These are the hinge plate dimensions, as you can see from the bottom. I can go up 80 millimeters, then 810, and all the way up to 1980. Those are where my plates are going to go. And when I transfer it over to the other side, the other gable, there's no hardware, and I'm going to now go here and see the door and all the hinges and where they're drilled. And what'll be good is that it will also keep in mind any gaps that I had placed into the application. I don't have to do the math, it's done it all for me. So from the cabinet configurator, from Blum, we're telling you now that we have made enough improvements that you can now go from our system to your shop with any additional effort. Appreciate your time, and thank you for watching.